going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you all. I am Nick, joined by my producer, Chrissy. Chrissy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Chrissy is not even in studio. She is
Not
still getting that D.
up here in the Montana.
I'm such a good boss. I'm just
You are the best. No, you are. You're the best.
go
Thanks.
get that D. You know, we support. Who would I be here on this host of a show, advocating for dating and looking for love and say no to you getting D?
Yeah, right. I mean,
We can make it work.
It's definitely one of the perks of the job. So
We have a great episode for you today.
Yeah.
A lot of great callers. You'll be excited. Polls are still open for voting for the Viall Files for the People's Choice Award. I mean, listen, it means a lot that we were nominated. I can't thank you guys enough. It's I'm proud of all our shows, the Ask Nicks, the recaps, our interviews. But I feel like our Ask Nick episode
yeah.
is the ones that really are the passionate ones. And so hopefully you guys take quite honestly, 10 seconds it takes to vote. There's a link in the description bio, a link on our website, or my Instagram on our website. Check us out. It means the world. And you guys can vote every day. And
25 times a day.
You can what?
You can vote 25 times a day.
I mean, you can just give us all 25 votes. You just slide it to the right, and it takes you can vote 25 times in 10 seconds.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So I'm sorry for begging. I know it's not very becoming, but whatever. Thanks.
But I'm just gonna beg.
I'm just really proud of this podcast, and to have your audience vote for you is a really meaningful thing. And then to win that would be an incredible. It'd make me feel really good, if I'm being honest. So, and again, it's not about me. It's about you, the people. I don't want to go back on that. So, anywho, don't forget to send in your questions at asknick@castmedia.com. Cast with a K. Certainly need those callers, and we got some great ones today. Thanks so much for the people who do call in. And remember, you can be totally anonymous. No one will ever find out that you are turned on by a strap-on, which is in our episode today. And quite frankly, I think it's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Let's get to it. And without further ado, our callers.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Going pretty good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
I am Kelly, 35.
Hi, Kelly. How can I help?
Yeah, so I'm just going to dive right in. Okay, so I had emailed you regarding a question regarding my sex life, basically. Okay, so until I was about 32, no one had ever gotten me off before.
Okay.
It's always been an issue. Mentally, I just can't get there. But basically, right around the time I was 32 or so, I had a partner who was a lot more open. And so every time that we had sex, we used a strap-on. And basically the only time that I could really get there is by visually watching her give me oral sex on my dildo, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So my question for you is,
she's performing oral sex on the dildo.
Yeah.
While you're
That's
wearing the strap on.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to paint that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, for whatever reason, it does the trick. But moving forward, because not every woman I'm with necessarily wants that. So I guess I'm wondering how to broach that subject is hey, so if you want to get me off, this is what you're going to want to do. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So how would you go about broaching that subject?
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's just one of those things you just probably have to take it slow and feel it out. As you are recognizing your your taste or your preference, this thing that works for you is unique and specific, right?
Right.
And it might not be for everyone, right? Like, but there's a lot of people as we are, as people in society are talking more about sex and more open to sex. Sometimes the only difference between people is the people who are open to talking about it and admitting they have a bit of a freak flag, and people who aren't ready to talk about it yet, right?
Sure.
So there's a little bit of that, but this is very specific. I think it's one of those things, as you're dating, my guess is, since this 32-year-old episode, or when you're like, there are people who are more sex positive, more comfortable with expanding their comfort zones than others. And I'm sure as you even start dating early in the dating situation, you can sometimes tell people who are a little bit more, freaky or buttoned up, a little bit more conservative with their sex life. And so I think it's just kind of a gauge, right? I don't think you have to bring this up. A lot of times we get these callers where they have this insecurity about something that they want to address, right? That they're afraid they're going to be judged, whatever it is. It might be a sexual preference. It might be a physical limitation on or it might be a family situation. It's like everyone wants to, like, how do I get it out as much as possible so I know that I'm accepted, right? And I just want to, like, get it out there because I don't want to waste my time. But I think you always want to take some time. You can get a lot of information from the people you're on dates with that can kind of make you believe. You can get a gauge on how they might accept or not accept this thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're not going to bat 1,000. There might be times where you're like, wow, I really thought she'd be into it. Guess I was wrong. And then someone might surprise you. Maybe you're dating someone, it's like, I really like them, but I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be into this. And then you tell them, they're like, oh my God, I'm so into this, right? You just never know. But at the same time, I do think you can kind of sense it, right? You can kind of sense, and maybe it's something, if you don't do the first time you hook up, right? You kind of see where things go. If it's all very missionary and all very vanilla, and they're just not open to going there, usually with any sexual situation, right? When you date someone, the first time you have sex, if you're dating someone for a while, whether it's a hookup friend or you're dating them for a while, there's a progression there. And let's say you've been dating someone for a while, your boyfriend and girlfriend, and you both have a bit of a freak flag. You have done some things, you've said some things to each other, there's a comfort level, and then that relationship ends. You break up, right? You're not going to do all the same. You shouldn't assume that your next sexual partner right off the bat is going to be into all those things. So you take it slow, you try it out, you get to know them. This is just in that repertoire. So, I mean, you might be surprised how many people might. I mean, I just think a lot of people, especially as long as there's no risk of harm, right? Mm-hmm. Most people are willing to try anything once. No. I mean, when it comes to sex, as long as everyone feels safe, it's like, I don't know, let's give it a shot. Have you been turned down since presenting it?
No, because it was only with that one person since then, and took a little bit of a break after a failed relationship. So I've been not really doing that. And then COVID kind of came along and kind of squashed that for me. But, I mean, being with women, as I'm sure it's usually they don't go 0 to 60. So it is kind of a slow progression. So I think that, I don't know, would you wait until until you start talking about bedroom stuff?
Right? I definitely would not bring it up.
Okay.
Before you're going to hook up. This is not a first date conversation.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? You have this unique thing, but no one, I'm sure some people do, but I don't think most people, and I certainly don't, any particular thing I've tried in past sexual experiences that were maybe considered exploratory that we both liked. It's the first date. We're so listen, just so you know, I like it when someone does this to me. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to hook up with this person. It's a bit presumptuous, right?
Right.
So I think for you, if you're on a date with someone, normal date, just put this out of your mind. Don't obsess over this, right? Get to know this person you might want to go on a second date with, and then see if you want a second date. And then maybe if you're physically attracted to this person and then the feelings are mutual, you might, we might hook up tonight. And then you hook up and you do your thing. You don't bring up this very specific thing. And then, try it out. I mean, this is the only thing you like. I mean, if you like this, I'm sure you're into more untraditional things like talking dirty or whatever, right?
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
You're down for whatever. A lot of people are down for whatever these days. They're just a little afraid if they're being judged. So make them feel comfortable, right? And that's the big thing. But yes, I don't think you should ever bring it up before you know sex is a thing in the relationship. And then after it's a thing in the relationship, you're like, hey, I'm into it. And my guess is they'll probably give it a shot. And then they'll decide whether they're into it or not. Because the way I'm hearing it, it's just like it's a unique thing. No one's unsafe in this situation. You're just incorporating toys in the bedroom. Like a lot of people do that. This is not, I don't think this is that crazy. I'm not that familiar with lesbian sex, so I don't know. But all this is people incorporating toys, right? So don't judge yourself too much. But don't feel like you need to pre-qualify. You're going to go on a lot of dates and not have sex with people. And certainly don't stop dating because you're afraid of being judged about something you like that you're afraid other people won't.
That's true.
Just go out there and date. And then when it's appropriate, deal with this situation. But only until after sex is part of the relationship. Sweater weather. Hey, I love a good fall. I love fall. Everyone loves fall. We're in the midst of fall. I mean, one thing I love California weather, but I also love the fall season. And sweaters are a great way to go about looking fall hot, baby.
Fall hot.
Having comfort, cozy, And Jenny Kane is making sexy fall possible.
Yes.
With the cozy sweaters that they offer. They also have more than just fantastic classic sweaters, which, by the way, incredibly soft. I wear it around my house all the time.
I love my sweater coat so much. I brought it with me here to Montana.
Curated staples inspired by the natural, effortless aesthetics of California living. You might already have a favorite cashmere sweater, but if it doesn't make you say, I'll never take it off, it is not Jenny Kane. I mean, listen, I never want to I fight with myself when I go to bed and I have to take off my sweater. It's like, no, I don't want to take it off.
That sweater does look excellent on you.
Cozy sweaters for year-round wear. Ultra soft and lightweight with Jenny Kane. It's also sweater weather. Pairs perfectly with weekends or work days or warm weather or cool weather. It's so
And they got stuff for your home.
Stuff your home. It's check it out. Jenny Kane is kicking ass and looking stylish and feeling cool. Make getting dressed the easiest part of your routine at jennykane.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code VIALL at checkout. That's JENNIKAYNE.com, promo code VIALL. Your home tells your story. We know this, homeowners. I mean, I am a homeowner now. And whether you are an art collector, I am, a craft collector, or just a love of well-curated space, Article is here with pieces that help you showcase your personal style. With designs crafted from solid woods, touchable textures, and a refined color palette, Article's latest collection makes it easy to curate space that feels uniquely like you. I've always loved my Article couch. It's very modern. It's stylish. It's incredibly comfortable. The best part about Article, they make the shopping experience really great. Everything they have looks incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
And it's at a very affordable price.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds. Your friends, you come over, will be like, oh my God, where did you get this? Is this can I afford this? You'd be like, of course you can. It's Article.
Yeah. And it's done well. It's good. It's durable.
Fair
is a bonus.
prices to save up to 30% over traditional retail prices. Article is able to keep their prices low by cutting out the middleman and selling directly to you. No showrooms, no salespeople, no retail markups. Fast, affordable shipping is available across the U.S. and Canada and is free on orders of over $999. All in-stock items are delivered in 2 weeks or less. 30-day return policy with simple returns and exchanges. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Go to article.com/VIALL and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. This doesn't sound that crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, except for some women are very like, there's still a lot of lesbians out there that are like anti-toy.
Sure. Yeah.
So
listen, I didn't say this is for everybody. I just don't think it's that crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's just like, there's a whole spectrum of people. Doesn't matter your sexual orientation, of people like more traditional things and people like to, go outside the box. And I've heard freakier things than this, I mean, dildos and strap-ons have been talked about in sex for, this is not like some new invention. It might not be talked about a lot. It might not be as common, but like, I'm not sitting here being like, I can't believe you're into this. I don't know. Like, I've never thought about it, but it's just like, okay, I guess. I don't know. So just be patient with yourself. And I'm sure there's probably someone listening who's just like, actually same, give me your number. I don't know, but don't judge yourself.
Send them my way.
Send
them my way.
Don't judge yourself too much, and don't stop dating because you're afraid that you're into something. So, I'm sure if everyone was super honest about their the craziest thing they ever done in the bedroom, and like told that story, everyone would be a little like afraid to tell it. And some people more than others, but sometimes
it's just more so awkward is my thing.
What do you mean?
It's not that I don't think it's freaky. I just think it's awkward to kind of be like, so since you're in that area,
well,
I don't know.
I mean, listen, the thing about like sex and dirty talk, there's no middle ground, right? It either sounds super hot and sexy or incredibly weird and awkward. And the difference really is just kind of owning it, right? In the bedroom, and timing and being comfortable with your partner and having kind of a mutual respect of like not judging the other person for like trying new things. It's when you just talk it out loud, sex always sounds awkward. If every guy or girl was like, and then he said this to me, and they just kind of like talk, it just sounds fucking weird, right? So
yeah, it does. Yeah.
So don't do that to yourself. You're like, you like it.
Yeah.
Own it. Own that freak flag.
Plus, once you get to the point where you're in the bedroom with someone, they're going to want to know how to get you off because it'll get them off to get you off. So it'll become more awkward of a conversation.
So
you would hope so.
Just to clarify, you're 1 for 1 in people you have asked to do this and have them do it.
Yes, but I will say that I haven't ever asked any because I didn't know.
No, I know, but you are, just to be clear, you're 1 for 1. You're batting 1,000. It's pretty good.
Well,
small sample size, I know. I'm just saying, even if you're batting 200, if I told you 2 out of every 10 women you asked are going to be into it, would you be happy with those stats?
I mean, it could be worse, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? And my guess is the person who's not into that isn't the person you're just in general not going to be into. Right?
That's, yes.
How someone is in the bedroom and kind of their openness to trying new things. If you're someone who's exploratory and adventurous and likes pushing the limits, that type of personality shows itself in other aspects of their life and in relationships.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If they're buttoned up at work and in the daily life, they're buttoned up in bed. And that's fine. And if you like someone a little bit more straight-laced, totally fine. But like this lady in the sheets and a lady, freak in the sheets, lady in the streets, to a certain degree. But that may be to people he or she doesn't know at work and professional, but they're closest, the people they know the closest, they don't hide it. You know what I'm saying? That's who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to date.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like anyone I'm dating, like I don't want them to be this different person during the day. Like, yeah, when they go to work, when they talk to my friends, when they go to house parties, yeah, you don't need to share that with everybody. But I want to know her, right? And you will know this person too. So I'm just saying I wouldn't stress out about the people who aren't into it. You're not going to be into other aspects about their personality.
Yeah. I think it's what concerns me is because I feel like I just have a lot of cock envy. So
what's that?
I feel like I just envy men that I mean, like I does that make sense at all or not really?
I mean, I haven't heard that phrase, but sure. I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But
so
why does that matter? I guess. I mean,
because I worry that it will like turn off the lady that I'm with.
I don't know the answer to that. My guess is, without knowing, is it will some, others it won't. Again, you're one for one.
Okay, that's valid. Yeah.
You know, so like, yes, not every, like, whoever you are, if you have kind of non-traditional, like it doesn't even, maybe traditional preferences. Some people don't like traditional, boring missionary sex. Like some people are like, I don't ever want to do that. And if some people like that, then that's not for them. You know, everyone has different preferences, and matching personality traits and things outside the bedroom are no different than matching personality traits and interests inside the bedroom. So yeah, some people won't like it. Some people will. You know, you're uncomfortable with this thing that you have decided is non-traditional, and now you're judging yourself about it. And now as a result, you're just afraid that no one will like it, and not even no one. Like it's like you went from being worried that no one will like it to like, what if one person doesn't like it? Then you'll feel judged. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
that's true.
So, a lot of half, I don't know, 80% won't like it. I don't know what that number is. Some people will. And so far you're one for one. So you're probably putting a lot of unneeded stress and judgment on yourself with very little information. And the only information you do have would actually tell you the opposite of what you're feeling.
That's fair. Yeah.
So just try not to stress out. Start dating. Go on dates without this being really on your radar to talk about, because I'm sure there's a lot more to you than this sexual preference. And then if the relationship advances to the point where you guys are intimate, like maybe on the then you start feeling comfortable with this person where sex becomes an ongoing thing, then maybe consider introducing it. Until then, I don't want to worry about it.
Just got to chill out a little bit.
I think so. I think chill out. Yeah. Chilling out is just the high level advice I would have, but
okay. I think I can do it.
You can totally do it. Yeah.
So I just need to just chill out and just wait until bedroom stuff starts happening before I broach it.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can do that.
All right. Best of luck.
All right. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Take care. You too.
Bye.
Oh, get those balls silky smooth for your man. Because when you're going down on your guy and you're trying to make him satisfied because you're a giver, doesn't mean you have to pay the price going through the fucking garden in the forest.
No.
Have him clean that shit up. I mean, at least if you're gonna go like perform any type of pleasure for your man, you should at least have a clean playing field. And it's his job to keep it going with Manscaped. And you can let him have this, and it's a safe thing. He can literally go nuts down there. He can just do this blindfold. It's risk free basically. It's like It's like being a risky skydiver. You're just down there and you're like, you can't even cut yourself. It's amazing what they're doing. Manscaped Performance package is the ultimate man hygiene bundle. It includes the new package in this weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, which is waterproof and uses 9,000 RPM motor powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system. Wow. You can put that kind of energy toward at your balls. It'd be totally safe. You will receive a replacement blade every 3 months to keep your weed whacking and lawn mowing time clean and enjoyable. The performance, and, every guy likes electronics, and every guy likes their
balls.
The balls, and it's the best of both. Give the gift of happiness. Make everyone happy, and then that way you won't have to be like picking shit out of your teeth and.
Ew.
Anyways, get 20% off and free shipping with code VIALL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off your free shipping at manscaped.com and use code VIALL. What are you waiting for? Go whack your weeds. How's it going?
Hey, I'm Melinda, 34. How are you?
Good, Melinda. How can I help?
Hey, well, I just was, calling in today to talk to you about threesomes and monogamy.
Awesome.
If there is such a thing, do you think you could help me with that?
I can try my best.
Okay, great. Well, do you want a little backstory?
That'd be great.
Like how we got here. Okay. So my boyfriend and I have been together a short amount of time, but it's a pretty committed, serious relationship. And from the very beginning of our relationship, he mentioned that having a threesome would be like a fantasy bucket list type thing for him. And at first I was like, no, that's just not something I'm into. I did disclose that I am a bisexual, but that doesn't mean I was like, I'm a monogamous type person. That doesn't mean I'm just down to do whatever just because of my sexual preference.
Did he understand that?
Oh yeah, he did.
Okay.
And that's something about him that's been really consistent, is just his understanding and patience. And he's like, well,
but his desire to have a threesome is specific to his own, being a guy, and and the fact that you acknowledged to him that you are bisexual, he understood that in no way increases the chances of a threesome any more than if you weren't a bisexual. Would you want to have two guys in the bedroom that wouldn't fulfill this sexual fantasy of his?
Absolutely.
Okay, so he
definitely understood that, and it was something like, it wasn't like an automatic like, oh, you're bisexual and that means this is in the bag,
Great. All right.
So at first I was like, I'm just not interested in really pursuing that. But as we continued to date and we continued to get to know each other, I guess I just started opening up to the idea of exploring it. Just like, I'll just think about it.
Okay.
And because he wasn't really badgering or saying, I was just like bringing it up a lot or anything. But really, honestly, as I started falling in love with him and feeling open with him on every level and just able to communicate with more than I've ever been able to communicate with somebody before, I felt more secure in our relationship than I felt in any other relationship I've been in before. And it just felt like something I wanted to kind of make his dreams come true, I guess you would say. And then we started this whole process of research and exploration of how this works, because, we want to protect our monogamy. We want to protect our relationship. That's our priority. But how do you interlace these two? How do you interlace this together? And the more I researched, the more I discovered it's not something I can do just to say, okay, I want to give this to you as like a gift, like, because it's just not, that wouldn't be a healthy, I guess that is one, I guess you could do that. But
when you say research, I'm curious, where does one research?
There's so much to read about it. There's
I don't doubt, but like, where are these coming from? Blogs or like experts on threesomes?
Oh, well, actually, I have several different options. There's blogs, then there's definitely just researching like, pornography, but also I have a few friends who are in the lifestyle, like as a like a swinger type
Sure.
lifestyle. So research in that regard, and actually more recently, since we went to a swinger party just as like observers, like you can like say we're here to observe, we're not really here to participate, which if you haven't done one of those, I highly recommend it. Very
Okay.
interesting. It's just, I will say the more we've entered into just this exploration of what this could be, the more you realize how close you are as a couple, the more communication. It's just like the overabundance of communication just becomes like you communicate on everything.
Yeah.
And then you end up witnessing a lot more together, I guess you would say.
So
but
where are you at now, and what's your
question?
question? Yeah.
I guess the question would be just sort of from a third party, not just, like I said, there's so much out there. You can read one thing, you can read one article on it that says it'll definitely destroy your relationship. Then you can read one article that says, no, there's just, there can be just the physical aspect of it without like an emotional connection. So my question is like, from your opinion or experience or just from discussing, do you feel like there can be a threesome scenario inside of monogamy and like preserve the relationship?
Great question. The reason why there's so many different opinions about it out there is because, and none of them are wrong, right? Because there are so many different preferences and what people decide for themselves, what monogamy means to them, what they value in a relationship, people's confidence levels in themselves, people's confidence levels with their partner, the trust that is or isn't there in a relationship. All those things play a role. Is it possible to be in a monogamous, committed? I mean, monogamous depends again how you define it, but a committed relationship where you are monogamous unless you guys both mutually decide to, do the threesome or open whatever. Because I guess technically a monogamous relationship wouldn't be like an open relationship. It's one of the two. But we all get what you're saying. Okay. Is it possible? 100% it's possible. I say that with a lot of confidence. My biggest thing, and from my experiences with people I know or my potentially own experiences, a lot of it comes down to, again, it's all about trust, right? Trusting yourself, trust in a relationship, trust with your partner. I think it's really important to have both parties truly feel very sexually desired by their partner, right? If this is really just about expanding the relationship that is already really healthy, the sex is great, it's just maybe another door you're opening or a cherry on top, then it's possible. If this is, I feel like my boyfriend or girlfriend's not as into me as they used to be, and I'm trying to do whatever they want to make them satisfied, and I'm trying to, then that's just a train wreck waiting to happen. But I think if two people are just like so into each other, just so physically, like their sex is great, they're just like, it's really just their sexual napalm. Not to quote John Mayer when he talks about Justice Simpson, but like, yeah, certain people just do it for you, right? And when you find that person and you happen to be lucky enough to be in a relationship with them, when you're just like, God, every time you're just like, I never get sick of it. It's so good. And then that person is someone you want to introduce a threesome with, then it's possible. Because then when you are, and then if you do that, you'll find that you're still very connected. You may find that when you do it, that actually what happens is you're just kind of annoyed by the third party. And that, to be honest, is kind of fun. You're just like, wow, I have this other person here, but all I really want to focus on is my partner. So then you're having this threesome. There's this third party there that's kind of the outsider already. And you two like have this kind of unspoken connection, this familiarity that you have, right? This other person is just kind of there, and it can bring you a lot closer. And you know what I'm saying? But it also can tear people apart. It just really depends on your motives. So I think if you're someone who really is confident in their relationship, confident with themselves, confident in their partner attraction to them and vice versa, and like you said, you are really communicating, you're on the same page, you're just in no way insecure about your partner's desire for you, then I think it's possible. But if there's a hint of like insecurity that you have, I'm like, why are they asking for this threesome? Are they maybe into like, are they bored with me or things like that? If there's even a hint of that, I think that's a risk. And I think it just matters, where you are. And it comes down to trust and communication. But I think how confident you are in your partner's attraction to you is a really significant part in that equation.
Yeah. Okay. That makes like perfect sense, and kind of like goes in line with where we have kind of landed in the research. Is just, if you are going into it with any type of ulterior motive, like you want to sway the other person to, or even have like this, well, I did this act for you, then you owe me this, then that's a red flag. But if it's
a team effort. It really is.
It's a team.
Yeah, you're doing this together, and in that sense, it can be really hot, and in a weird way, bring you closer to. It can definitely make you feel closer, because you're just like great. You're just like, like honestly, this I could be with. It really can, because that person you're having, like you're already with, you're like sexual napalm, and this other person is new, attractive, different, all those things, but it's still not.
Yeah.
It's not
the same.
Yeah. It's like you're obsessed with pizza, so you'll never get sick of pizza. No matter what, it's that your favorite pizza, and cereal's pretty good, and like, yeah, I guess I also really like cereal, but it's never been to be better than pizza. But once in a while, not that you're sick of pizza, it'd be nice to have those Lucky Charms. I know pizza and cereal don't go together, but you still like cereal will never come in the way of pizza for you, or whatever it is, So like, as long as you have the thing that you're most obsessed with sexually, then anything new is just kind of like a fun little like addition. And in a way, you're almost gonna feel like, all right, cereal, don't get too excited. You're not pizza. Like, you're here, welcome to the party, have fun, but like, let's not know your role. And then
know your role.
Then it can be a lot of fun. And
that's a great analogy. That's a really good one.
I could have been better.
I like how you put.
Yeah.
I mean, I like where you went with that. That was good. It can stay.
So I hope that was helpful.
That was very helpful. Thank you so much. And you know what? I'll let Chrissy know how it goes.
All right. Sounds good. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Kim.
How old are you?
Oh, how old am I? Sorry. I'm 36 years old.
Great. How can I help, Kim?
So I'm writing in about a friends with benefits situation, and I know what you think about friends with benefits, but I'm going to ask anyways. So I started dating this guy in January before COVID. Friend of a friend, hit it off really well. Dated all through COVID, got a little bit, I think, closer sooner rather than later, because we were spending a lot of time in each other's houses, but still participating in Zoom happy hours with friends. I met his dad, he met my brother, and then in May, he came over for dinner one night and decided he didn't want to be together anymore for no real reason. So he had brought over all my things, and we had a few like check-ins about the relationship. He said things were going great. He wants a wife and kids. I want a husband and kids. Things seemed to be going on the same page until that night when he decided he didn't want to be together anymore. So he left. I didn't say anything. I tried to listen to your podcast and just said, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. Let him go. And then I called a week later to inform him that I didn't appreciate how he ended things, though I understood. I was just wanting him to know that the feedback was that was a shitty way to end things. He could have talked to me sooner. So then a month goes by.
What was specifically shitty about it?
Because we had just checked in like a week before, and he said things were going great. And then when he was breaking up with me, he said that actually he's been in turmoil about things and he didn't really know how things were going, even though he acted as if things were going well. And that he gets to points in relationships where he just gets scared of commitment, but he hadn't told me that. And And I just said that it felt selfish. And he said, okay, maybe, but that's just how he does things. So a month after that, he reached out to me and wanted to start like the friends with benefits, hanging and banging situation. And I had felt like at that point we spent enough time apart, like maybe I could engage in that because our sexual chemistry was great. We always had fun together. So I was like, okay, I'll come over for one night and that'll be it. But then that turned into a weekly situation where we would have dinner together, and it was great again. It felt like we were dating again, but we weren't. We were like very strictly friends with benefits.
So you went from dating a guy that you were pursuing romantically and then and taking exception to how he handled it, to then transitioning to a friends with benefits. You went like the opposite direction as they usually go?
Opposite, yes.
Okay. All right, just to clarify. Continue.
Yes. Good clarification. I've not done this before. This is new. And this is the first guy I've seriously dated since I've been divorced. So then I moved to San Diego. I've been here a month, and I've been back to Denver once, and we saw each other when I went back, and he calls every couple weeks to check in, and we talk for an hour on the phone. So it's like continuing friends with benefits, even though I don't live there anymore. And he said our benefits run out when one of us meets somebody else romantically.
Wait, what are you talking about for an hour? Friends with benefits are like people who like just have sex.
I know, it's a hang and bang. This is extending the hang and bang. That's why I'm confused.
When you're talking for an hour, it's not even banging. It's just hanging.
I know, it's just hanging. So now that's what I'm asked. That's why I feel like he even just texted me last night. Like, we just talk about our jobs. We have a lot of similar values health-wise. So we talk about our days, what we do, like we're friends. He randomly texts me photos like a friend would.
No. Well, what you are is a rent-a-girlfriend.
Is that what I am?
Yeah.
Shoot. See, I don't want that.
Okay.
And I want a relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be with him. And he's actually said that to you.
Yeah, so what is he doing?
Whatever he wants, apparently. And you're letting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's what I was afraid you were going to say. Yeah, but it doesn't feel great.
No, but like I was gonna, while you were talking, I was gonna, like, before I just said what I said, I was to be like, well, what do you think? It's like, you knew. I mean, that's kind of the point, is you got to trust your gut, right? And sometimes the truth hurts, as we all know, and we know that saying. But like, especially going back to when you said to him, I called him up and I told him I didn't appreciate how he handled it. I mean, listen, you have the right to feel that way, and it felt, and you were hurt, and you know, and I tweeted one of my little quotes about, like, just because you're hurt doesn't mean you're necessarily owed something. And I thought, and a lot of people agreed with it. A lot of people didn't necessarily agree with it, because it's one of those funny things where it depends on the perspective of the person who's reading that, right? There's things in the news these days that made me think of that, recently. Like, actually, quite frankly, what made me think of it is Demi Lovato's breakup, right? With her ex-fiance, and lately he's just kind of like going on social and saying things like, well, I loved her and no one deserves to be treated this way. And it's just like, listen, I'm sorry you're hurting, guy, but people have a right to move on, right?
Yeah.
People have a right to have their feelings changed. The people have a right to those feelings to change overnight. Doesn't make them a bad person. Now, that doesn't, again, exclude someone from communicating and being empathetic and talking through those things. But people have a right to move on. You don't own someone's feelings towards you, right? Now, again, there's a broader argument, well, what about fuckboys and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, yeah, I understand that can suck, but like, we also owe it to ourselves. And here's a perfect situation where a while back here, this guy was at least honest with you eventually, right? And then you got mad, you told him, and then you chose to still let him do whatever the fuck he wants, which is not only have sex with you when he wants, but also call you and talk about his work and maybe things that are bothering him or his day, and have you listen to him like a girlfriend would.
Yeah.
And as long as he's being honest with you. Like, he's not even a fuckboy. He's just like, he's being selfish. Yeah, but you're letting him. He's totally being honest with you. You can't accuse them of lying. He's just giving you when I find someone I want to be in a relationship with, I'm going to end this.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. And with some part of you is subconsciously telling you like you'll change his mind. You're gonna show him how great you are, and eventually he'll realize what he's lost. And I mean, like maybe, but like you have done enough to show him that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The only way he's now gonna realize it is losing you before he finds someone else.
So
he's showing him over and over how great. Like, what is there something you haven't showed him about yourself that is so great that you're saving? Like, this will really get him. But I'm just softening him up right now.
No, I even sent him a birthday present.
Oh God, you're the worst.
I'm the worst. I need to end this. So then, what do I? Because I now feel like I have to take some onus of control. Because I don't think he owes me anything. I appreciated your tweet.
You're just like, hey, listen. You're just like, listen. I just want to end this. It's fine. You've been very and that's the thing. You don't call him out for anything. This was on you.
I know it's on me. I'm taking full responsibility for this.
You've been honest with me. I appreciate it, but I just don't want to do this anymore. I liked you. I still like you. Thank you for being honest with me about the fact that you don't want this to be a relationship, but I'm not interested in being your friends with benefit or your rent-a-girlfriend. Friends with benefits just have sex.
Yeah.
There's an emotional detachment there. We're not just hookup buddies. I don't have time to talk to you about your shit. I'm saving that for someone else who has time for it, and you don't want to, and that's totally fine. The key here is being chill as fuck. The key here is not sounding like you're trying to say this to him to get a reaction. It might get a reaction, I don't know, but you're truly just being like, listen, I've changed my mind. I don't want this. I want something else. And what you're willing to give is not what I want. And so it's totally fine. Thank you for all the fun times that we had. I appreciate the conversations. Enjoy the gift. I just don't want to keep doing this anymore. That's
so
it.
Is that a phone call or a text?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Who gives a shit about him? What do you want? Do what you want. Don't worry about how he will react. I'm saying this because there's a part of you that's listening to me being like, yeah, okay, Nick, you're right. And your ego is just like, hey, Kim, fuck this guy. You're amazing. And we're just going to mind fuck this guy into convincing him of how amazing we are. That's what your ego's telling you right now. And whatever you want to do, fucking do it. And don't consider how he is going to react.
Okay.
And then when you say or do whatever it is you want to do, don't think about, I wonder what he's thinking now. I wonder if he's okay. And don't call up your friends and be like, he's upset, right? He's really thinking about me, right? He's bothered, right? That doesn't do you any good. No,
I can't even tell my friends I'm still talking to him. It's embarrassing.
Well, there you go. That's a great
There's
great
only a few that
know. You should tell your ego that you've embarrassed me.
Yes, ego. I know, and I really try to keep my ego out of it because you always say to do that, but it has held on tight to this one. I don't know why.
It's
he
fine.
Gives me just enough attention. Yeah.
Yeah, you're human. But the point is, do whatever the fuck you want as in terms of how you end this, and don't consider his feelings.
I don't want to be a rent-a-girlfriend. God, no. I'm too old for that. I want an actual relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. A fuck buddy would be a generous description of this situation.
No, yeah, it's more than that. Okay. I don't want to be a rent-a-girlfriend. I'm going to text him, and I don't care how he feels or how he responds.
He's renting you as a girlfriend, and you gave him a gift.
I know. It's the worst. I'm like a free rent-a-girlfriend. I don't even cost money. I even listen every time you say to not text people on their birthday, because everyone always asks that. Should I text my ex on their birthday? Not only did I do that, I sent him a birthday present. I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I'm going to not be a rent-a-girlfriend.
As long as you know. As long as you know.
I do know. I'm self-aware enough. I just have to change my behavior.
That's okay. You're human. Yeah. It's always easy from this chair to cast judgment.
Well, no, I appreciate your advice. And my friend Tila uses your essential oils, and we listen to you every week. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. All right. Best of luck. You're going to be great.
Thanks. I'm going to text him. Okay, bye.
How's it going?
Hi, good. My name's Melissa. I'm 25.
Hi, Melissa. How can I help?
So I need some boy advice. I kind of have like a love triangle, kind of messy situation going on. A little backstory, about a year ago, I met this guy. We went on a few dates. It just sort of like turned into just a hookup thing. And I never like developed romantic feelings for him. I don't think he did for me either. We naturally went our separate ways. Still friendly, whatever. Flash forward to like now, like a year or so later, I matched with this guy on a dating app, and
Different guy.
we were planning to meet up, and then different guy. And I stalked his social media, come to find out he is coworkers and friends with the guy that I used to hook up with. So I just stopped talking to him, like out of respect for that guy, not wanting to, be a homie hopper or however people call them.
Never heard of that, but okay.
But then but then coincidentally, like 3 days later, my roommate, who didn't know me at the time that I was hooking up with the original guy, sends me a screenshot of him and is like, should I get drinks with this guy? We've been talking, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, go for it. But just FYI, I used to kind of date him. So she goes back to him and is like, this is my roommate, Melissa. You guys used to date. And he was just like, well, dating is a strong word. So like, he didn't care. So I was like, okay, fair game. So I'll go out with the other guy. And then we all end up going on a double date. And
So it went from you.
I didn't feel weird.
It went from like you being unsure if you should talk to him to now you're all on a double date.
Yeah.
Okay.
And him and I like facilitated the double date. And I didn't feel weird because
You and the old hookup guy.
yeah, me and the old hookup facilitated the double date. I didn't feel weird or awkward about it because I haven't seen this guy in like over a year. I never liked him enough to date him. Clearly he didn't feel the same. So like no hard feelings. I was more interested in getting to know his friend. And then after the date, I texted him and was like, did you like my roommate? Did you have a good time? Trying to get some insight for her. And he ignored all of this text. And then I went on like a second and a third date with his friend. And on the third date, I didn't want to hook up with him because I don't know if I want to date him yet. And I don't want to have like the same situation I had with the original guy and their friends. So I didn't want to make things weird. But apparently I have no self-control because I hooked up with him on our third date. And
question.
When
Did you have any conversation with the new guy about the first guy?
No, that is like kind of leading up to my question for you. Like,
that was
I don't know.
Probably your first mistake.
Okay. I didn't know if that would like scare him away or if that was too direct to bring it up.
Well, the answer is I don't know if it would scare him away. But like you're dating in LA, and it's not just LA. I mean, LA is not the only horny city out there, right? It's hookup culture nationwide, right? And so, especially on dating apps, there's going to be some overlap. And so I think just more mature people just put it out there. Like, you don't know what his answer is going to be, but listen, hey, just so you know, I don't know how well you know whoever the first guy is, but like, we briefly dated. Like, if you have questions, I'm happy to tell you about it. But I just, in the interest of like just giving you a heads up, like I still want to get to know you, but I want you to, I want you to hear it from me. Because right off the bat, now you're just kind of laying this groundwork that you're very honest, you're upfront, you're not afraid of awkward situations. He has no reason not to trust you because early in the relationship, before it was even a relationship, you were just direct and honest.
And that makes sense.
And yeah, he might say, you were already willing to just cut him loose. Right? So like, if you're willing to say, oh, well, I don't know what phrase you termed, homie hopper.
Homie hopper.
Why didn't you just, do the mature thing and just say, hey, like, this new guy has hooked up with other people too.
To bring it up.
Taboo what? Like, listen, no offense to virgins out there or anything, but we all assume most people, especially in LA, aren't virgins. And if you are, great. But, he's assuming you're not a virgin, right? And, like, there's some overlap. The world's small. So, like, taboo, like, it is what it is.
I just figured he must know already. Like, there's no way the other guy didn't tell him.
Why? I mean, why? Why would you assume? This is what you decided to do, and you're assuming that he would do something different?
Right.
You're just like, well, this was my choice. He might be, and I'm not trying to be hard on you, he might choose to have been as indirect and as immature as you decided to be. And it sounds like that's what happened. You both just decided to, like, ignore it, and now it leads to so where are things at now?
So after we hooked up, I was still hanging out with him that day, and the original guy who ignored all my previous texts, I had 2 missed calls from him and text messages asking if I wanted to hang out. And I was with the other guy, so I kind of told him to see what his reaction would be, and he didn't have one at all. So
what do you mean?
I'm just wondering.
So clarify. You were like, new guy. You're out with new guy, and you're like, hey, old guy is, like, asking me to hang out, but does he know that does he still not know you guys had sex?
Yeah, I don't think so.
He still doesn't know.
Like,
so you didn't say that you hooked up. You're just like, hey, new guy is hitting on me. What do you think? And he's like, and he was lower, like, I don't care, like, whatever. Hang out with him.
Yeah, he just, like, had no reaction. So, is it too late to bring this all up now?
What do you mean by no reaction?
Like, he literally had a stone face. He didn't even look at me. Didn't give out a giggle. So I'm like, does he even know that I used to hook up with his friend?
Probably not. Yeah, it might be awkward. I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of immaturity and a lot of non-communication going on here, and you're just doing a lot of guessing, assuming everyone else is doing the work for you.
Okay.
Take care of your business. Stop worrying about how other things might handle their business.
Do you think overall?
Overall, I think it might be too late, but again, you don't know. The only option you have right now as far as relates to this current situation is come clean, be mature, be honest and direct, own up to what you didn't do, explain what you wish you would have done from the beginning, acknowledge that, like, listen, I'm not making an excuse, this is why I did it, but, like, that's not who I am. And I don't know if you, do you like this guy? The new guy.
Well, I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm wondering, like, do guys care if a girl has had sex with their friend in the past? Like, would he even date me if he knew that? I don't know.
Do you know how good of a friend he is with this guy?
I know. I mean, they have multiple photos on their socials.
Well,
they work together.
That means everything.
I have no idea.
Listen, I don't know either, and I'm being sarcastic, but just be like, communicate. Just say what's up, right? Like, you're doing a lot of not communicating and making a lot of assumptions at the risk of, I don't even know what your motivation is, because you're not even saying, oh, I really like it, I'm afraid of losing him. You're just like, I'm still figuring it out. But meanwhile, while you're figuring out if you like him, you're representing yourself as someone who's not good at communicating and keeps secrets for no reason either.
I don't want that.
Like, you're not even necessarily trying to hide it. You're not even giving me the impression. You're just like, well, is it awkward to tell him? You don't know the answer. What if it does bother him and you do end up liking him, right? And now you've
better
lied.
To cut it off now.
Now you've lied to him. Well, not only that, like, no, not cut it off. Just like your motivation for your decision making is quite interesting. Because I don't know what your motives are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know if you like him yet.
Well, I do know for me personally, I'm not in a position where I want to just, like, hook up with guys and that be it. Like, I want to, and maybe I gave him the wrong impression from sleeping with him on our third date.
I mean, listen, it's a third date. Like, whatever. Just because you have sex with someone on a third date doesn't mean you don't want a monogamous relationship. Like, it's not a mutual exclusive thing. The big thing here is, you need to get better at communicating in general and just being direct. You know, there's no downside to being direct. Like everything you've done, you should have done the opposite. And like, and you would be no less off. You know what I'm saying? Because as of now, what you're telling me is, I've been dating this guy. We had sex. It was fine, and I'm still figuring out if I like him. Right? Mm-hmm. So, like, okay, none of the things that have happened have been like you couldn't do without. Right?
Yeah.
But you still don't know if you would like him. And if you do realize that you find out that you're like, I really like this guy, now you're going to be like, oh shit, he still doesn't know I hooked up with the other guy. It's not even a big deal, but I've essentially lied to him. I've lied to him by omission. I haven't been upfront. And what he's going to feel like if he likes you is he's going to feel misled. He's going to feel like an idiot going on a double date knowing that you guys hooked up and no one told him. He's going to feel dumb. Mm-hmm. You know?
Okay. So your advice would have just been from the very start, told him like, hey, I used to date and hook up with your friend. Like, does that bother you?
Yeah. Don't even ask if that bothers you.
Okay.
Just be like, hey, just so you know, like, this is the situation. I'm fine. I would like, but like, also like, I don't know, you know, I just want to let you know. But like, if you still want to go out, I'm totally down to go out. And he might be like, I don't know. Seems weird. I'm good. Have a great life. Fine. Right? But now you know. Because the fact that you hooked up with this other guy wasn't going to change. And if he is someone who's just like not into that, then he wasn't your guy anyways. You know? Like.
Okay. You're right. Yeah. I agree.
Like, what are you going to invest 6 months in this guy, then eventually have him find out, and then like it's something you fight for the next year before you break up?
No, that's
and you save yourself the trouble. Be up front right away. You know, and stop assuming other people are going to handle your business. This is your business. This, you know, like the fact that you hooked up with this other guy is
scare him.
The fact that you hooked up with this other guy is a random coincidence. But you can't expect this other guy to tell him your business, and your business is your business. It doesn't matter if it happened to include someone else who's in this circle.
Yeah,
you still want to tell your version anyways. God only knows what he told him. You really want to trust this hookup is to like tell your story?
Absolutely not. You're totally right. No.
So
I don't trust him at all.
Deal with your stuff, right? And then let the new guy tell you how he feels. Give him an opportunity to tell you how he feels.
Okay.
And then you might,
I'm gonna do it.
then all of a sudden you have like open communication and honesty as a foundation of this relationship, as opposed to guessing and you know, and you're not trying to be a liar, you're not trying to be dishonest, but you are being one right now.
Great.
Like, it's fine, but like, it's just a lack of maturity on your part. And I'm not saying you're an immature person, but you're making some immature decisions that sounds like you are aware of and you can do better. You're just, in the future, there's no reason to just be upfront and honest. People hook up with other people. It happens. And if other people, if he was just, you know, he might show his immaturity by saying, you're asking me a general question. Do guys matter? I don't know. Some more than others. It all depends on how close you are. Maybe they're like best fucking friends. Could be a little weird, right? Or maybe they're just kind of coworkers who like, it's just like, all right, well, it's not my favorite reality, but like I like you, so like we'll just it is what it is, right? If you're, you know, you tell them like, listen, we hooked up a couple times, neither of us really connected, we went our separate ways, and I really want to get to know you. Like any mature guy, if he is into you, would just get over it. Any insecure guy might not, but you don't want to date an insecure guy who's going to constantly fucking bring this up to you your entire relationship.
No.
You know?
I also don't want to just date a guy that only wants to hook up too. Like I want someone that wants the same thing. So I guess
well, that's
that's
a whole separate thing. And again, you're allowed to have sex on the third date and still tell someone, I want to be in a monogamous relationship and I want a boyfriend and I don't want just a hookup partner. Like you don't have to become a nun to prove to someone you want a relationship.
Okay.
You know?
That's good advice. Thank you.
It's just like setting expectations about other things you want in the relationship. Like sex is part of a relationship. So have all the sex you want, but expect them to do other things.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, you will be, I'll tell you this much, when you're just direct with guys and you tell them what's up, you tell them and don't apologize. This is what I did before you existed in my world. I'm just going to be honest with you because you seem like someone who can handle it. You have nothing to apologize for, and just say it with confidence and then see what he says. Good chance he'll be attracted to your honesty and your confidence in yourself.
Okay. Well, I guess I will have that conversation with him.
This might not go well now because of how you handled it, but in the future, start from the beginning. And who knows? I don't know this guy. It might not. But there's a good chance he might feel dumb. Mm-hmm. And also, if he if he is actually disinterested and he's like, I don't care, fuck, you can fuck whoever you want, we're just fucking, then you also will get your answer on what he wants in a relationship right now.
Mm-hmm. What if he's like, I already knew? Then
okay. Well, I still wish I would have. I still wish I still should have told you. Right? This is not about whether him knowing or not. Mm-hmm. This was about
me.
You not deciding to be upfront and direct and letting someone else tell your business when it was your responsibility to tell someone your business.
Okay.
And then maybe it sounds like you're at a point where it's like, listen, I'm not trying to rush things, but like, you can have that kind of pre-qualifying defining in the relationship. Have you had a conversation with the guy about what your expectations of what you're looking for?
No, I don't even know when to bring those things up to guys. So I just
you're not the best communicator. Just start saying what you want.
It was a pretty good one.
No, what about what you've said would describe someone who's good at communicating?
I mean, when is it too soon to bring up what you are looking for in a relationship? Like
what you're looking for?
Yeah.
I don't know. The first date.
You think okay?
I mean, have it be organic. Don't be one of those people who meets on a dating app and is just like, just so you know, don't start listening to things you don't want, but listen to things you do want. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, I'm looking to date someone. I am definitely not in a hookup stage in my life. It doesn't mean I don't hook up, but I'm actively trying to meet someone who wants to date. So if you're just actively trying to hook up with someone, totally cool, not for me. What's wrong with having that conversation at some point on a first date? And again, it's about the delivery. Saying what you want is much more attractive than saying what you don't want.
Right? You make it sound so simple and easy. So
I'm
gonna try it your way.
But also be okay with someone giving you an answer you don't like. Oh, I'm not into that. Totally cool. The more chill you are, the more easy that sounds, the more attractive and confident you'll come across.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try it out.
And then you just sound like a girl who knows what she wants, and people like people who know what they want. And it sounds like you do know what you want. You just have to get better at saying it. Because you present yourself as someone who's confused about what she wants, and you're not. You're just confused about how you should say it.
Agreed. Yes.
All right.
But you make it pretty simple, so I'm gonna try it your way.
It is simple. You're complicating it.
Okay, I'm done complicating it. I'm gonna try.
You're not the only one. Listen, I'm being hard on you, but
okay.
Yeah, you can do this. It's just
thank you.
Say what you want. It's and there is no how soon if it's too soon for someone else, it doesn't mean you did it wrong. It means they're not your person.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Better to weed them out now, too.
Yeah, just because someone's not ready to hear what you're saying doesn't mean you shouldn't be ready to say it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very well said.
All right. Well, best of luck. Start being direct. And there's nothing ever wrong with being direct and honest. Ever.
You're right. Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, take care. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Well, what a fun episode. I feel like we learned a lot. I don't totally remember. I've been in the zone for the past...
You were in a zone today. It was so good.
Hour and a half, but...
some good nuggets in there.
We're not owed love. I know that.
Yeah. That was a good one.
But it's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, reactions aren't necessarily how we feel. It's about the situation.
Oh, that was good too.
Allow yourself to have it all. It's a takeaway today.
Well, that being said, hey, while you're at it, before you go, if you're listening to this, God, it would just mean the fucking world to me if you guys would have voted for Viall Files for the People's Choice thing. It would, I mean, I'm not even going to pretend. It wouldn't just mean...
Podcast 2020.
You can vote every day. Tell your friends. I can't thank you enough for voting for this show and nominating us. And if we don't win, it's fine. I still love you. But it would... Wow. I might cry if I win.
I'd kind of like to see that, actually.
But I do appreciate it, guys. So thanks so much for doing that and taking the time. It is really easy to vote. I will say that. It takes like 12 seconds. Just find the link on my Instagram.
Figured it out. So
and it's real. You literally have to put in an email address and then slide and give us all 25 of those votes. So thanks so much for listening, guys. Don't forget to send your questions to asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K. And Bachelor is back, so check us out. And we're on Tuesday. Check us out tomorrow for a recap of Claire Tasha's episode, and then we're back on Wednesday. It's a new schedule, new format, so nothing's really changed. We're still going to have Ask Nick, Bachelor recaps, and then our interviews. They're just kind of crammed in differently. Instead of releasing it Monday night, it'll be Tuesday night. So,
and we got Daisy Fuentes and Richard Marks.
Davey Fuentes and Richard Marks on Wednesday.
I'm gonna die. I love Richard Marks so much. I'll be fine.
Well, thank you for listening, and see you tomorrow.